Defining macroeconomic policies. Macroeconomic policies are strategic approaches employed by governments to influence a nation's economic performance. These strategies are essential in determining scenarios such as economic growth, stability, and equitable distribution of resources. The fundamental components of macroeconomic policies include fiscal policy, which involves government spending and taxation, and monetary policy, which concerns the regulation of money supply and interest rates. Through these mechanisms, governments aim to manage inflation, stimulate employment, and stabilize currency values, ensuring sustainable economic development. Historical context and evolution. The evolution of macroeconomic policies can be traced back to the aftermath of the Great Depression in the 1930s, which profoundly transformed economic thought. The period saw the emergence of Keynesian economics, which emphasized the role of government intervention to stabilize economies. Post-World War II, many nations adopted Keynesian principles to rebuild and recover, laying the groundwork for modern macroeconomic strategies. However, the late 20th century brought about a shift with the rise of neoliberalism, advocating for reduced government intervention and greater reliance on market forces. This transition marked a key phase in the historical trajectory of macroeconomic policy, influencing contemporary approaches that balance state intervention and market freedoms. Core objectives and goals. The primary objectives of macroeconomic policies encapsulate a triad of goals: maintaining stable prices, achieving high levels of employment, and fostering economic growth. Stability and prices aims to minimize inflation and protect the purchasing power of consumers, which is essential for economic confidence and investment. Employment goals focus on achieving low unemployment rates, ideally striving for conditions where everyone who wants to work can find employment. This, in turn, fuels economic productivity and consumer spending. Lastly, economic growth is measured by an increase in the gross domestic product, GDP, representing a rise in the nation's economic output and living standards. By balancing these objectives, macroeconomic policies seek to create a conducive environment for sustainable prosperity, addressing both short-term challenges and long-term goals within an ever-changing global economy. Fiscal policy as a tool for economic expansion. Government spending and economic growth. Government spending serves as a potent catalyst for economic growth. Through targeted investments in infrastructure, education, and healthcare, fiscal policy can stimulate job creation and enhance productivity. These investments lay the groundwork for long-term economic benefits by improving public services and increasing demand for goods and services. For instance, infrastructure development not only creates immediate employment opportunities but also facilitates smoother business operations, thus leading to sustained economic growth. Taxation policies and their economic impact. Taxation policies profoundly influence economic behavior. By adjusting tax rates, governments can either encourage or dissuade spending and investment. Lowering personal income taxes may increase disposable income, thereby boosting consumer spending. In contrast, reducing corporate taxes can incentivize businesses to expand and invest in new ventures. However, taxation must strike a delicate balance. Excessive tax burdens can stifle economic activity and inhibit growth. Policymakers must consider the elasticity of taxable income when designing these policies, ensuring they encourage growth while maintaining necessary public revenues. Balancing deficits and debt. Fiscal sustainability is paramount when deploying fiscal policy as a tool for economic expansion. While deficit spending can ignite growth, particularly in times of economic downturns, it is crucial to manage these deficits to prevent unsustainable debt accumulation. Efficient debt management strategies involve timing deficits during periods of economic slack and scaling back during times of growth. This countercyclical approach allows governments to buffer economic shocks without overwhelming the national debt burden. Additionally, maintaining fiscal credibility ensures investor confidence, keeping borrowing costs manageable. Policymakers must employ prudent assessments to balance immediate economic needs with long-term fiscal health, ensuring that growth objectives do not compromise financial stability. In conclusion, fiscal policy functions as an essential instrument in guiding economic expansion. Through strategic government spending, well-calibrated taxation, and prudent management of deficits and debt, governments can effectively support economic growth. As economies evolve, continuous evaluation and adaptation of fiscal policies remain vital to achieving sustainable development goals. The role of monetary policy in stabilizing economies' interest rates and inflation control. Monetary policy plays a pivotal role in stabilizing economies, primarily through the management of interest rates and the control of inflation. Central banks adjust interest rates to influence the cost of borrowing, thereby impacting consumer spending and investment. By lowering interest rates, borrowing becomes more affordable, stimulating economic activity by encouraging businesses to invest and consumers to spend. Conversely, increasing interest rates can help to temper an overheated economy by making borrowing more expensive, which generally leads to reduced spending and investment. Such adjustments are instrumental in maintaining price stability, as controlling inflation protects the purchasing power of consumers and promotes sustainable economic growth. Monetary policy instruments. Monetary policy employs several instruments to achieve its objectives of economic stability. The primary tools include open market operations, the discount rate, and reserve requirements. Open market operations involve buying or selling government securities to influence the level of bank reserves and interest rates directly. By purchasing securities, the central bank injects liquidity into the financial system, lowering interest rates and stimulating economic activity. Conversely, selling securities absorbs liquidity, increasing interest rates and restraining economic expansion. The discount rate is the interest rate charged to commercial banks for borrowing funds from the central bank, influencing the cost of credit and liquidity in the banking system. Reserve requirements determine the minimum reserves each bank must hold, directly affecting their capacity to create loans and, consequently, influence economic activity. Central bank strategies. Central banks employ various strategies to achieve macroeconomic stability through monetary policy. Inflation targeting is a common strategy where the central bank sets a specific inflation rate as its primary goal, using interest rate adjustments and other tools to maintain this target. This transparent approach helps anchor inflation expectations, thereby fostering economic stability. In addition, many central banks have adopted a flexible approach to monetary policy, considering multiple indicators such as employment levels and global economic conditions when making policy decisions. By doing so, they ensure that policy measures are responsive to changing economic landscapes, promoting long-term economic growth and stability. These strategic approaches underscore the importance of monetary policy in managing economic fluctuations effectively. International trade policies and global economic growth. Trade agreements and their economic effects. Trade agreements are pivotal in shaping the global economic landscape. They aim to reduce barriers such as tariffs and quotas, fostering an environment conducive to trade. By facilitating easier access to markets, these agreements can lead to an increase in goods and services exchanged among countries. This interconnectedness often results in economic growth as countries specialize in producing goods where they have a comparative advantage. Moreover, trade agreements can attract foreign direct investment, creating job opportunities and enhancing technology transfer. While the benefits are substantial, trade agreements also necessitate adjustments within economies, as sectors that cannot compete may face declines. Export-driven growth strategies. Export-driven growth strategies focus on increasing a country's industrial output through the production of goods for export rather than for domestic consumption. This approach has been instrumental for several emerging economies as it provides a pathway to integrate into the global economy. By prioritizing exports, countries can capitalize on larger markets and scale economies, which drive efficiency and innovation. Export-driven strategies can enhance foreign exchange reserves, allowing for more robust economic management and investment in infrastructure and education. However, reliance on exports also poses risks, such as vulnerability to global market fluctuations and changes in foreign demand, necessitating careful economic planning and diversification. Managing trade imbalances is critical for sustainable economic growth. A trade deficit, where a country imports more than it exports, can lead to increased debt levels, affecting economic stability. Conversely, a surplus, while often seen as beneficial, can put upward pressure on currency values, making exports less competitive. Effective management involves a balanced approach, addressing underlying causes such as currency misalignments and competitiveness issues. Policymakers must consider measures like adjusting fiscal policies, encouraging domestic consumption, and enhancing the competitiveness of industries. Addressing trade imbalances requires coordination among multiple policy areas, ensuring that economy-wide benefits are realized without escalating tensions between trading partners. The intersection of technology and macroeconomic policies, technological innovation and productivity. Technological innovation has become a pivotal factor in shaping productivity within economies. It directly affects the efficiency and effectiveness of production processes, leading to significant productivity gains. The advent of new technologies often stimulates competitive markets, fostering an environment where businesses strive to leverage innovation for improved outputs. Increased productivity, driven by technological advancements, can contribute to higher gross domestic product (GDP) growth. Additionally, these innovations can lead to the development of new industries, which subsequently create employment opportunities and drive economic expansion. Consequently, there exists a strong correlation between technological progress and economic performance, indicating that macroeconomic policies must accommodate and encourage technological advancements to sustain growth and productivity. Digital economies and policy adaptation. The rise of digital economies necessitates adaptation within macroeconomic policies to address new challenges and opportunities. As digitalization transforms industries, traditional economic measures and policies must evolve to remain relevant. Policymakers face the task of integrating digital considerations into existing frameworks, crafting strategies that encompass the complexities of digital transactions and cross-border data flows. For example, handling issues such as data privacy, digital taxation, and cybersecurity has become essential in policy discussions. Furthermore, ensuring fair competition in digital marketplaces requires novel regulatory approaches. By adapting policies to the digital context, economies can not only manage emerging issues effectively but also harness digital innovation for sustainable growth. Technology-driven fiscal reforms are integral to modernizing economic frameworks. The introduction of technology into fiscal policy aims to improve the efficiency and transparency of public finance management. Digitization of tax systems, for instance, enables more accurate and efficient collection processes, reducing tax evasion and increasing government revenue. Moreover, technology facilitates better allocation of resources, allowing for more effective public spending. Implementing such reforms can lead to increased fiscal space, enabling governments to invest in critical areas like infrastructure and education, which are essential for long-term growth. Thus, embedding technology within fiscal policy serves as a catalyst for comprehensive economic reform, aligning fiscal strategies with contemporary technological advances. Macroeconomic stability as a catalyst for sustainable development. Economic stability and growth correlation. Macroeconomic stability is a fundamental precursor to sustainable development. Stable economies attract investment, reduce poverty, and enhance living standards. When economic conditions are predictable, investors feel more confident, leading to increased capital inflows and business expansions. This confidence stems from controlled inflation rates, stable currency values, and favorable interest rates. Such conditions enable governments and businesses to plan for the future with a higher degree of certainty. In turn, this fosters a robust economic environment where growth becomes attainable and sustainable. Long-term impacts on development. The benefits of macroeconomic stability extend beyond immediate economic growth. In the long term, stable macroeconomic environments contribute significantly to poverty alleviation and social development. Communities in stable economies typically enjoy better access to education, healthcare, and infrastructure. This access helps reduce inequality and fosters social cohesion, essential components for a thriving society. Furthermore, long-term stability bolsters the resilience of economies against external shocks, such as global financial crises or natural disasters. Hence, nations with strong, stable economic frameworks are better positioned to recover from such adversities, ensuring continuity in development efforts. Policy frameworks for stability. Establishing and maintaining macroeconomic stability requires comprehensive and well-articulated policy frameworks. Governments must implement monetary and fiscal policies designed to maintain low inflation and fiscal discipline. Monetary authorities, such as central banks, play a crucial role by setting interest rates that balance the dual goals of controlling inflation and promoting growth. Additionally, prudent fiscal policies are necessary to ensure that government spending does not exceed its revenue in unsustainable ways. Furthermore, legal frameworks should support transparent governance and the rule of law, which are vital for economic stability. Policies must also incorporate mechanisms for monitoring and managing systemic risks, thereby creating an environment where sustainable development can flourish. Hence, successful policy frameworks are those that strike an appropriate balance between promoting growth and preserving stability, aligning short-term gains with long-term developmental goals. Challenges in implementing effective macroeconomic policies. Political influences and economic decisions. Political dynamics significantly impact the formulation and implementation of macroeconomic policies. Elected officials often face pressure to favor short-term gains over long-term stability. These pressures can result in policies that prioritize political agendas rather than sound economic principles. For example, tax cuts or increased public spending might be enacted to win voter support, without adequately considering the potential inflationary effects or fiscal deficits. Policymakers must navigate a complex interplay between political interests and economic necessities to ensure sustainable growth. Globalization and policy constraints. Globalization presents both opportunities and challenges for macroeconomic policymaking. On one hand, increased cross-border trade and investment can enhance economic growth and efficiency. However, globalization also imposes constraints, as domestic policies must align with international agreements and economic conditions. Exchange rate volatility, trade imbalances, and capital flows can limit a nation's policy autonomy. Competing in a global market demands that countries strike a balance between protecting national interests and adhering to global norms, often constraining policy flexibility. Adapting to economic shocks. Economic shocks, such as sudden financial crises or unexpected geopolitical events, test the resilience of macroeconomic policies. These shocks can rapidly alter economic landscapes, necessitating swift adaptations in policy to mitigate adverse effects. Crafting policies that are both robust and adaptable requires foresight and strategic planning. Decision-makers must be equipped to implement counter-cyclical measures, such as adjusting interest rates or deploying fiscal stimulus, to stabilize economies during downturns. The challenge lies in anticipating potential shocks and having the agility to respond effectively without derailing longer-term objectives. Overall, the challenges in implementing effective macroeconomic policies are multifaceted, involving political, global, and unforeseen factors. To address these challenges, policymakers need to cultivate a deep understanding of economic interdependencies and develop strategies that are both flexible and resolute. By considering the intricate web of influences, they can better align policies with broader economic goals. These considerations are crucial for fostering an environment conducive to sustained economic growth and stability.